It's time now for a look at the latest in local news. In the news, the Jesup City Commissioners met Tuesday evening for the regularly scheduled meeting. The meeting went plus 2 hours. Big reason the proposed budget, which the commissioners as a whole simply not on the same page. The proposed budget was advertised in the Press Sentinel, and the public hearing and first reading was on last night's agenda. As usual, no one on hand to address the budget from the public pro or con. But when it came to voting on the proposed budget, a lengthy discussion, which sometimes got heated, and eventually ended in a 3-2 vote, which means it simply doesn't pass. The commissioners are back to square one, schedule a work session to once again go over the budget. This time they state they want to go over everything in the budget, from the cost of the pool to the new fire station to other departments. Here's just a portion of the long discussion about the budget with the 3-2 vote taking place. Again, with the 3-2 vote means it does not pass. Here's part of the discussion Tuesday evening.
Very obvious to me that I make the motion that we continue this budget for 2 weeks, and in the meantime, let's talk this out one more time. We're not. It's very obvious we're a long way from trying to. It needs to be discussed a little longer. We ought to have a meeting within the 2-week period, and then come back and make a decision on it then.
Respectfully, we have a motion and second on the floor. We have to address that before we move to it.
Okay, I've said what I've got to say, and when it's time, I'll make that motion. Thank you.
Commissioner? You have anything? Anybody down here? Tim, did you have anything else?
Well, you're talking about apples and oranges when you talk about the fire station and the ladder truck. Those are SPLOST projects.
What you said about SPLOST, I'll tell you what's not SPLOST is the pool. And I'm not against the pool law.
I've been against the pool since you got here.
No, sir. I'm not against the pool.
I'm not against the pool.
I'm questioning the amount of money just as you have. We're spending $1 million on the pool, and then we're going to spend $250,000 a year. Let me finish. That's the budget, $250,000 a year to maintain. Now, I was with the county too, and I can tell you that was what the budget was to maintain the pool then. And that's what it's going to continue to be. You mentioned about the gift that keeps giving. That's the gift that keeps giving. Now, I'm for a pool, but I'm not for a pool over our employees. That $250,000 a year would go a long ways towards paying and retaining the employees that we have to have to operate as a city. So, if we're going to start, not give these people $1 because these people got $1, I think they all need $1. I think they might need 2 over here, but we might want to consider some things we're spending money on. Because if we lose these police officers, if we lose these people like the people in the water department, with license, right now I'm paying a guy working building concrete over here $12 an hour to do that on a day labor basis. That's what some of their starting wages are at. So I'm just saying that if we're going back and revisit, we need to revisit everything in the budget, determine if we have to cut some things out.
More than one budget study.
That's what we're getting paid for to be city commissioners and mayor.
I'm ready to go.
Mayor, that's the question that I have. Commissioner Harvey just put it on the floor. Commissioner Cockfield just put it on the floor that we need to revisit the budget. What portion of the budget needs to be revisited? Is it just the salary piece, or which piece need to be revisited?
Well, I think the salary, of course, is one that needs to be revisited.
Anything else?
Definitely. I don't think I may be wrong. But I don't think it's going to take $1 million to build a pool.
We also need to look.
But it's going to take money to build the pool, and it's going to take money to maintain the pool. Y'all, I promise you, I'm trying to be quiet. I am. But I keep hearing the only thing that needs a revisit or relook or review is who is getting $1 versus who's getting the 2.5.
No, there's more than that.
Okay, what are the other things that need to be revisited?
The other thing is, if you look at your budget, do you have a copy of the budget with you?
I just need you to tell me. I just need to tell me the things because I'm running.
It's upside down $3.2 million. You put that on the social media.
Is that going to fix it?
Water and sewer's upside down 2.6. No, the salaries won't fix it. We need to look at some of the other revenue and expense numbers and get this budget.
You're going to vote for this
back in line,
budget, James. So is this dollar going to fix that problem?
Let him talk.
You don't know what I'm going to vote for and what I didn't. I mean,
the budget is up. What's wrong with the budget?
y'all
It's
are the
upside
one, we
down.
voted last time 4-3. Mr. House is not here. So it changes the dynamic of the vote. We're going to have some sort of a compromise, I believe, between the two sides. One side can't just get their way. We're going to have to meet in the middle somewhere on these employee pay raises and on some of these other expenditures and get a more realistic budget so that we're not $5.8 million upside down.
So what you're saying, decision of 4 is outweighed by decision of 2? Is that what you're saying?
Look, can you call the vote, and let's see how it goes, and then schedule a work session, and we'll hash this out in the work session, maybe have to have 2 work sessions, I don't know.
Yeah, I have a motion set for the floor. Madam Clerk, call roll, please.
So what are we voting on now?
I'm sorry, let me clarify. What we're voting on, this is what's on the agenda, we already published this budget. So what we're voting on is whether to approve or not approve the budget as was published in the newspaper. So with that, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Todd?
Yes.
Commissioner Harvey?
No.
Commissioner Armstrong?
Yes.
Commissioner Schumann?
Yes.
Commissioner Cottrell?
No.
Okay, I got a split vote, so that means it does not pass at this time.
And once again, with a 3-2 vote, the budget does not pass at this time. So again, they're going to set a work session that has not been set as of this time. As soon as they set the date, we'll pass that along. We'll have more on the discussion on tomorrow's newscast. Again, this was a very lengthy meeting. Shirley Armstrong made the motion Tuesday to approve the budget. Commissioner Pam Schumann seconded the motion. Commissioner Stanley Todd voted with them to vote in favor of the budget. But again, Commissioner Tim Coughlin and Commissioner Bill Harvey voted no. So with the 3-2 vote, no passage of the budget Tuesday night. And at this point, no date on when the work session will be. As soon as we receive the date, again, we'll pass that information along. Commissioner Cockfield was upset last night, saying he's heard that city employees are having secret meetings and praising some city commissioners and vilifying others about the budget and who's getting the dollar raise and who's not. He asked City Attorney Michael Connor if that was an ethics violation or a violation of their oath of office. And we'll hear those comments from Commissioner Cockfield again later this week, as this meeting again lasted over 2 hours. And the commission and mayor are back to square one on their budget. As Commissioner Cockfield stated Tuesday, they need to come up with a compromise. Commissioner Harvey says all this discussion is good and healthy, even if it becomes heated. And the mayor echoed those comments last night, saying that everyone's just passionate about their role as commissioner and mayor. Hopefully during the work session they can come to some type of compromise. And their budget ends on June 30th, so the timeline is quickly approaching. We'll continue to follow this story on the budget as it develops. Again, we'll come back with more news from last night's meeting right after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In other news from the City of Jesup meeting last night, City Attorney Michael Connor says the city charter allows the council to appoint someone in District 5 to fill the vacancy left by the passing of longtime Commissioner Ray House. Person must live in the district and must have lived in Jesup at least 1 year and meet all other qualifications. City has a timeline of 45 days to make the appointment. Connor says if no one is appointed by the council in 45 days, that the state governor makes the appointment to the council. Commission's asking anyone in District 5 if they're interested in being appointed to the council to submit a letter by email to City Manager Rose Marcus for the next 2 weeks. Commissioners state they'll look at the names of those interested and make an appointment from the names submitted. 2 alcohol licenses tabled after another lengthy discussion last night. Police Chief Perry Morgan submitted letters in support of both applications, saying both applicants met all the city requirements. Commissioner Tim Cockfield concerned about the locations, as he says they're near a church and an alcohol rehabilitation center. One location is the pool hall at 136 South 1st Street. And Commissioner Schumann was perplexed, saying that location is next door to an alcohol store and also a Mexican restaurant, which also has an alcohol license. And the previous tenant also had an alcohol license at that same location. Schumann, concerned about legal implications, asked that both applications be tabled until a further discussion on the alcohol licenses can take place. Commissioners approved Thomas and Hunt's road option study for the South Macon Street connector. That a 4-1 vote last night. Commissioner Tim Cockfield voting against. We'll have more on that later this week as well. And again, let's look at some of your items from the City Council meeting on Tuesday. Again, more about the budget discussion on tomorrow's newscast. Reminder, today starts the Summer Food Service Program here in Wayne County. It's going to take place every Wednesday from now up until July 26th. The sites are Wayne County High School, James E. Bacon Elementary, the Sam Dreyer Center in Scriven, and the Odom Rec Center. Free breakfasts and lunches in bags for multiple days will be provided for children up to the age of 18 and for people with special needs. And this takes place every Wednesday beginning today. The meals can be picked up on a drive-through basis. They stress there's no on-site eating. The times today, 10:30 to 11 a.m. in Odom, the time 11 to 11:30. Again, all that taking place beginning today and every Wednesday up through July 26th. We'll come back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes news, another drug bust. This one took place on Sunday, June 4th. Jesup Wayne County Narcotics Team, assisted by the Wayne County Sheriff's Patrol Division and Criminal Investigations Division, executed a search warrant at 1444 Oak Street in Jesup after a month-long investigation. Made 3 arrests: 25-year-old Terrence Bennett, 47-year-old Terrence Bennett Sr., and 49-year-old Chrissy Washington, all of Jesup, all facing multiple drug charges, possession and trafficking, drugs such as fentanyl, cocaine, a drug called Molly, and Percocet pills. During the search, law enforcement found 8.5 grams of fentanyl, 24 ounces of the drug called Molly, 1.24 ounces of cocaine, 73 Percocet pills, 8.7 ounces of mushrooms. Further investigation resulted in seizing 3 vehicles, 2 dirt bikes, 2 ATVs, an enclosed trailer, a flatbed trailer, 6 firearms, and over $6,000 in cash. All 3 facing charges of sale of a Schedule I drug and possession with intent to distribute it. Investigation, they state, is ongoing, may result in further arrest and charges. Sheriff's Department Police Chief encourage anyone with information pertaining to this case or any illegal drug activity, simply contact the Wayne County Sheriff's Department at 912-427-5970 or the Jesup PD at 912-427-1300. Finally, the Chamber of Commerce held a thank you barbecue yesterday at the Wayne County Farmers Market for all its members. Great crowd on hand enjoying the free meal. WIFO-FM stopped by and we talked with Dina Bennett about the event.
With the Chamber, nice thank you, appreciation barbecue, good turnout, so we're pleased with the turnout.
Yes, we are very pleased with our turnout, Bob. We've got several folks will be here till 1 o'clock today. Still got plenty of food. We'd like to we've invited all of our Chamber members to come and enjoy a lunch on us to say thank you for their investment in not only our Chamber but our community. And we'd just like to say thank you to those that have come, those that weren't able to come. We have a great community and we're thankful for all of our members.
The Chamber's got a lot going on. The Legacy Dinner is at the end of the month. That's always a big event, passing the gavel, giving out several awards. I know you want to invite everybody to that.
Yes, we do have several tickets available for that event. It's Thursday, June 29th. It's starting at 7 p.m. at Pine Forest Country Club, so everyone's invited. We have a great event planned. Like you say, we'll be passing the gavel to our incoming chairman, Mark Watson, and several awards that will be given out recognizing our incoming board members as well as those that are rolling off of the board.
Okay. Well, again, congrats on a nice thank you, appreciation barbecue. The food, you want to compliment who provided the food?
Yes, the food today was provided by Hog and Bones, and our dessert was provided by She Bakes 912, and everything was absolutely delicious.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, once again, those comments of Dina Bennett. Again, that event taking place yesterday at the Wayne County Farmers Market. That's going to do it for the latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan saying have a great day.